So another way to evaluate limits is to give their graph and then evaluate them visually. So in number 1, here's our function, and they want the limit as x approaches 2 from the right side. So remember, as x is approaching 2 from the right, what is my y value approaching? Remember, f of x is function notation for your y value or your output. So here's 2, my marker, my x value. I want to approach it from the right side. Here is the piece of my function that goes towards x equals 2 from the right. So my x values are approaching 2 from the right. My y values are approaching, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's approaching 6. My y value is approaching 6 as my x values approach 2 from the right side. So now the next one is looking for as we approach 2 from the left side. So this piece of my function is what is approaching 2 from the left. As my x value is approaching 2, what is my y or f of x value approaching? Well, it's approaching 1, 2, 3, 4. So my right side limit is approaching 6, my left side limit is approaching 4. Therefore, since these are two different limits, the overall limit as x approaches 2 does not exist. And you can kind of see that from the picture, and it's not really coming together. So let's try another one. Number 2. We want to approach 4 from the right. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. We're looking at this point. So from the right side, I see my y value is approaching 2. From the left side, coming this way, I see I'm also approaching 2. So therefore, since both the right and the left sides are coming together towards the same limit, the overall limit is the same. As x approaches 4, f of x is approaching 2. Last one on this page. Let's see, the limit as x approaches 4 from the right side. Let's see what's happening. So here's my function from the right. It's approaching 2, and it's getting it's approaching 4 from the right side, and as we are approaching 4 from my x values, my y values are approaching 2. Now the opposite, let's come from the left. As we approach it on our function, but not equal to it, we're also approaching 2. So now that means as we are approaching from the left side and the right together, both the left and right are approaching 2. Now it might get confusing. What does this point mean up here? Well, our overall function is approaching 2, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We know from this point that f of 4 equals 4. But that does not necessarily mean that the limit as we approach 4 is equal to 4. We can visually see that it's approaching 2. So we will investigate some more limits together in the next video.